guys, it's Anya, the illustration girl here. Welcome to my Christmas Advent Calendar series of Adobe Fresco tutorials. You will be creating 5 different illustrations with me, and while doing that you will learn loads of new techniques that you will be able to use in your illustration work. And also I've prepared some extra materials for you that you can download absolutely for free from my website, which I included in the link in description. If you want to share your artworks with me, then do tag me in on Instagram. It's illustration.girl, and I will share and promote your artworks on my account as well. Make sure that you follow the link in description to get access to references and worksheets. So let's begin by choosing a reference image. If you want to use the same image, then head to the link below and you will be able to download this free-to-use photograph for your illustration. You will see that Fresco has layer panel on the right. It's very important that we use this feature and do all our artwork on a new layer. And first of all, let's make a new layer, and I'm going to show you how to make a layer mask. Click on the selection tool and then draw around the fireplace with your Apple Pencil. And what you need to do is basically just click once on the outer edges of the fireplace and you will get a straight line. In this way you will be able to trace the shape of the fireplace really quick. Then press mask and you will see that the screen will go red. Then swipe the layer left so it will turn normal again. Now you've created a mask. We're going to paint with watercolor brush inside the mask, and what you will see is that everything that you draw and paint will only go to the boundaries of the mask that you have just created. I'm choosing some nice brown colors and I'm using a watercolor brush, and you see that it creates a really lovely effect, just like real watercolor. We're going to repeat the same steps to draw the hearth. Drawing a mask and then painting with watercolor brush inside this mask. Now I'm going to use a simple pencil brush to draw the brick details. I've decided to make the line not too thick, just so it's a really nice thin line, because I want it to be quite subtle to work nicely with the watercolor effect that we have already created. Notice that I'm switching the visibility on the photograph layer on and off so that you can check and see how your artwork looks without the photograph behind it. Now I'm just going to use the mask again and draw on some details on top and bottom of the fireplace. Another really cool feature you can try is to change the blending modes. You see in the layer options there's loads of cool blending modes that you can use to kind of add a filter to your artwork. Now I'm going to draw the logs in the fireplace, and don't be surprised that I'm basically drawing them all black, because I'm going to show you a really cool feature called Clip Layer. With this feature you can make a new layer and you can just draw an abstract shape with watercolor and then press Clip Layer function, and you will see that the layer will be inside the black drawing that we have just created. And you can move this layer around inside the layer. It's almost like a mask, but slightly quicker. Now I'm going to show you how to edit a layer mask, just because I thought that I want to make the edges of the hearth a little bit more hand-drawn. You will see that at the bottom you have hide and reveal options for your mask. If you press hide, you will be basically hiding some parts of the mask, so you can just draw and make the shape a little bit more organic. You can use this option whenever you need to change the layer mask that you previously created. Now I'm going to use the pencil brush to simply draw the stand for the logs, Now I want to decorate this fireplace with some Christmassy illustrations while learning how to duplicate layer. First of all, of course, let's draw some Christmas stockings, but we're not going to draw each one of them because we can simply just create one and duplicate it to make 3 of them. This way of working is super quick and really handy when you want to save time, and you don't have to draw one thing 3 different times if it's basically the same thing. I know I'm showing you guys so many masking options in this tutorial, but I want to show you another one which is called lock transparency to paint inside a layer. When you select lock transparency, anything that you paint inside this layer is going to stay inside, and I use this option quite a lot just if I need to change the color of something I've drawn and create an interesting texture, pattern, or an interesting effect. So go ahead and try to play with this option too, and if you need to change the layer, you just select the layer and click unlock transparency and you can draw on it again. Now the last thing that we need to do to make this fireplace look really festive and pretty is to draw some decorations. I'm just drawing some garlands, sort of freehand, imagining them from my head because it's simply just a few curved lines and you've got yourself a fancy Christmas decoration. And now I think the last thing that we need to add is some festive branches. I'm going to use the reference, and I know it can be overwhelming to draw a complex figure like this sort of Christmas tree branches. What I suggest is to start by just drawing the middle of the branches just to show the direction where the other foliage is going to grow from. Remember in the beginning I told you try and do every element on a separate layer. Well, now we can make another layer underneath these lines and fill them with watercolor. So you don't have to make your sketch really elaborate, you can simply suggest the foliage by creating this sort of line. And to create the effect of the line being wider at one end, you just need to apply more pressure on the end of the line. And you can just fill a different color on another layer underneath and it's going to look like green foliage. So as you can see, you don't need to add too many details to this Christmas tree wreath. But if you want to, you can totally use the pencil tool and draw on some extra lines, so your Christmas decoration will look cozy and detailed and lovely. We're coming to the end of this tutorial now, but I'm going to give you a few ideas of how you can improve this illustration if you have more time before I go. So you could totally add some Christmas baubles, which is very easy to draw. Just draw some circles, and you can even use things like clipping mask or layer mask that you've just learned to create a pattern. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to do that. And also you can add some background color. Just make a new layer and fill it with a different color. And this is basically it. Just choose the color you like and your illustration is finished.